a showroom, and right there under those perfect spotlights sits something that doesn't just look like a car. It looks like a statement. That's exactly what Jaguar is aiming for with the upcoming 2026 Electric GT. And honestly, it might just be the boldest thing they've done in years. Now, when you hear GT and electric in the same sentence, you already know it's not going to be your average sedan. And Jaguar isn't shy about making this one feel futuristic. The design is the first thing that hooks you in. It's low, wide, and aggressive, like a predator crouching, ready to leap. The front fascia has this sleek, flowing grille design that feels more sculpted than mechanical, with ultra-thin LED headlights that almost look like eyes narrowing in focus. Side profile, clean, muscular lines that scream performance. The rear gets a wraparound light bar that makes it unmistakably modern, and the wheels. Let's just say they don't look like something made for today, they look like something designed for 5 years from now. But here's the kicker. Jaguar didn't want to go all in on just battery power. The 2026 Electric GT is actually rocking a hybrid setup, an advanced mix of electric motors and a high-efficiency petrol engine that's tuned more for performance than economy. The result is something really interesting. You get that instant electric torque we all love, the kind that pins you back in your seat as soon as you tap the pedal, but you also get long-range comfort without worrying too much about charging stops. It's the kind of balance that makes this car appealing not just for the city crowd, but also for folks who like to get out on the open road and just drive. And if you're wondering whether this GT can handle more than just smooth highways, well, Jaguar has sprinkled in some surprises. They've tuned the suspension and drive modes in such a way that it can actually manage light off-road conditions. We're not talking about rock crawling in the mountains, but if you're headed to a countryside retreat or navigating snowy, unpaved roads, the Electric GT has the traction systems to back you up. That's a very Jaguar touch. Luxury with a bit of adventure on the side. Step inside, and this is where things get even more futuristic. Jaguar has really leaned into the idea that the cabin is an experience, not just a place to sit. The seats are sculpted like high-end lounge chairs, with sustainable leather alternatives and ambient lighting that wraps around you in a soft glow. The dash is dominated by a curved OLED display that seamlessly merges the driver's gauges with infotainment, and it reacts almost like a smartphone, smooth, intuitive, no lag. Then you've got a second screen tucked lower for climate and driving controls, which makes the whole setup feel clean and clutter-free. And here's a nice touch. Jaguar hasn't gone completely digital. You still get a few physical knobs and switches in key spots, something purists will appreciate. Of course, technology is everywhere. Advanced driver assistance, AI-powered navigation that suggests routes based on your habits, and even a voice assistant that feels more like a co-pilot than a robot. The sound system? Jaguar's working with Meridian, as always, but they've upgraded it for the GT. Expect that theater-like experience when you're blasting your playlist on the highway. Now, let's talk about something everyone's curious about: price. Jaguar hasn't confirmed final numbers yet, but the buzz puts it somewhere in the ballpark of $100,000 to $120,000, depending on the trim. Yeah, it's premium, no doubt. But when you consider what it's bringing to the table, a hybrid electric performance GT, wrapped in Jaguar's design language and dripping with luxury, it starts to feel a little more justified, especially if you compare it to other Grand Tourers in that bracket. Speaking of comparisons, how does this stack up against past Jaguar models? Well, if you think back to the F-Type, that was pure sports car DNA, loud, dramatic, unapologetically raw. The Electric GT feels like the evolution of that spirit. It's not just about the roar of an engine anymore. It's about blending speed, efficiency, and technology into something new. Where the F-Type was wild and visceral, the GT is polished, modern, and forward-thinking, but still thrilling when you press that accelerator. It's almost like Jaguar has grown up without losing its edge. And compared to their first electric attempt, the I-Pace, this feels like a giant leap. The I-Pace was practical, almost cautious, trying to test the waters of EVs. The Electric GT, though, is bold. It's confident. It's not trying to prove Jaguar belongs in the EV game. It's showing they can actually lead in it. What excites me the most is how this car balances tradition with innovation. It nods to Jaguar's racing and luxury heritage, but also embraces the fact that the future is electric. For car enthusiasts, it's a reminder that going hybrid or electric doesn't have to mean giving up passion. For new buyers, it's an invitation to step into a brand that's been reimagining what luxury performance can be for decades. So, the big question, is the 2026 Jaguar Electric GT worth the hype? Honestly, I think so. It's stylish enough to turn heads, powerful enough to satisfy your inner speed demon, practical enough for everyday use, and tech-savvy enough to feel like it belongs in the future. And let's face it, a Jaguar that can whisper down the road in silent electric mode, then roar back to life with hybrid power when you want it to. That's just cool. Jaguar might have just built not only their most important car of the decade, but maybe even a new icon for the electric era.